Pope Francis has said that practicing paedophiles will go to heaven, prophesying atheists will go to heaven, and Christianity must merge with Islam to become a one-world religion. Still, his supporters bend over backwards to defend the indefensible. Now the Jesuit Pope has declared that Jesus is a liar, and Lucifer, son of the morning, is the son of God. Good luck defending him this time. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. According to Pope Francis, the Bible must be fact-checked by the World Economic Forum. Parents of abused children must forgive paedophiles if the perpetrators have good hearts. And, wait for it, Jesus is Satan. Pope Francis's comments have caused outrage in the Vatican, with many archbishops calling for his head. But given the disturbing facts coming out about the Jesuit Pope, should we really be surprised by his support for Klaus Schwab's Nazi-style eugenics and depopulation programs? The sooner the world wakes up and sees Pope Francis for what he truly is, a false prophet doing the devil's work, the better off we will all be. Pope Francis recently did an interview with Laura O'Donnell of CBS. And in the interview, Pope Francis explicitly denies this gospel of Jesus Christ. There's no way to take his words out of context. There is no defending him this time.
When you look at the world, what gives you hope?
Todo.
Everything.
Uno ve tragedias.
You see tragedies,
pero ve
but you also see so many beautiful
tantas
things.
cosas lindas. Uno ve madres heroicas.
You see heroic mothers,
Hombres heroicos.
heroic men, men who
Hombres
have
que
hopes
tienen
and
ilusión,
dreams,
mujeres que miran
women who
adelante.
look to the future.
Eso a mí me da
That
mucha
gives me a lot
esperanza.
of hope.
La gente quiere vivir.
People want to live.
La gente
People
va
forge
adelante.
ahead. And people
La
are
gente
fundamentally
es
good.
fundamentalmente buena. Todos somos
We are all
fundamentalmente
fundamentally
buenos.
good.
Por ahí somos un poco
Yes, there
pícaros,
are some rogues and
pecadores,
sinners,
pero
but the
el
heart
corazón es
itself
bueno.
is good.
When asked what gives him hope, he says that everything gives him hope because we are all fundamentally good. The Bible begs to differ. Check out Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 20 or Romans chapter 3 verse 10 through 12. The Pope is teaching an explicit denial of the original sin. This wasn't a throwaway comment. He belaboured the point. He emphasised it. For those who've been watching Pope Francis closely, this won't come as a surprise. He's been contradicting the Bible and inverting core Christian teachings for years now. In New York City, he even went as far as to preach that Jesus Christ is a failure. According to Francis, the life of Jesus was a flop.
And if at times our efforts and works seem to fail and not produce fruit, we need to remember that we are followers of Jesus Christ. And his life, humanly speaking, ended in failure, the failure of the cross.
The Pope's defenders argue that he messed up his words, but this is not the case. Pope Francis's disturbing teachings show no signs of stopping. He is intent on promoting a one-world religion that merges Islam and Christianity, pushing an agenda that is the exact opposite of traditional Christian beliefs.
Identificare l'Islam con la violenza. Questo non è giusto e non è vero.
The Pope also said he is convinced that coexistence between people of various religions is possible. He called on society to combat the malaise that is at the root of terrorism.
Il terrorismo cresce quando non c'è un'altra opzione e mentre al centro dell'economia mondiale ci sia il dio denaro e non la persona, l'uomo e la donna. Questo già è il primo terrorismo. Hai cacciato via la meraviglia del creato, l'uomo e la donna, e hai messo lì il denaro. Questo è un terrorismo di base contro tutta l'umanità.
Why is the Pope determined to normalise paedophilia and downplay the evil of radical Islamic terrorism? Is it because he's determined to unite Christians and Muslims in a one-world religion that will be part of a one-world government he is actively promoting as an agenda contributor at the World Economic Forum?
Ma perché il Papa va dai musulmani e non solamente dai cattolici? Ma quello che Dio vuole è la fratellanza fra noi. E in modo speciale per questo viaggio con i nostri fratelli, figli di Abramo, come noi, i musulmani.
He recalled that Catholics are not the only believers in the world. He also said that the variety of faiths should not divide.
Ma perché Dio permette che ci siano tante religioni? Ma Dio ha voluto permettere questo. I teologi della scolastica dicevano la voluntas permissiva di Dio. Ha voluto permettere questa realtà. Ci sono tante religioni che alcuni nascono dalla cultura, ma sempre guardano il cielo, guardano Dio. Non dobbiamo spaventarci della differenza. Dio ha permesso questo, ma sì dobbiamo spaventarsi se noi non facciamo lavori di fratellanza, di andare insieme sulla vita.
The Bible is clear that Christians are the children of Abraham, not anybody else. Yet the Pope has decided to overrule the scripture and declare Muslims to be within the same family.
El mensaje de que tenemos el mismo Padre en el cielo. El mismo Padre acá también, Abraham.
For the Pope, the pilgrimage his fellow Argentinians underwent is a good example of how to reach out to others and build bridges.
Lo que han hecho ustedes de recordar estos pueblos, de recordar sinagogas, mezquitas, templos cristianos, es un gesto de fraternidad y es una semilla hacia esa cultura del encuentro que todos tenemos que tratar de.
Here's the Pope claiming that we all share the same Father, despite the Bible clearly stating that God is the Father only to those who repent and turn to him. Pope Francis is a wolf in sheep's clothing, spreading a twisted gospel, one that seems more closely aligned with Lucifer's message. According to his inverted version of Christianity, do as thou wilt becomes the highest law. Is Pope Francis the Antichrist? Leaked WikiLeaks emails, along with insights from Pope Benedict and Archbishop Vigano, reveal a disturbing answer. The IRS under the Biden regime has become an out-of-control tyrannical agency, hell-bent on targeting people who have the wrong political beliefs. If you owe any back taxes, the chances are they might come knocking on your door soon. Don't waive your rights and face these goons on your own. They're not your friends. Tax Network USA, a trusted tax relief firm, has saved over $1 billion in back taxes for their clients, and they can help you secure the best possible deal. Whether you owe a few $1,000s or a few million, they will help you. Whether it's business or personal taxes, even if you have the means to pay or you're on a fixed income, they can help resolve your tax burdens and get the IRS off your back. Viewers of The People's Voice are being offered a free private consultation. Visit tnusa.com/TPV. The second book of Peter, chapter 2, verse 2, warns that there are false prophets among us, even denying the Lord that bought them. It would make perfect sense that a false prophet was installed on his throne by the unholy trinity of George Soros, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton. Leaked WikiLeaks emails reveal how Soros, Obama, and Clinton orchestrated a coup within the Vatican, ousting the conservative Pope Benedict and installing radical leftist Pope Francis in his place. What did Benedict make of the situation?
Well, as you know, Pope Benedict XVI resigned the papacy in 2013. The day he announced it, lightning struck the Vatican. People took this as a sign that something apocalyptic was happening in Rome. He wrote a letter to a Slovakian gentleman by the name of Vladimir Palko, and Rod Dreher gives us the background information. Palko was a member of the underground Catholic Church, and he went on to serve as the interior minister, and he had some kind of correspondence with the late Pope Benedict. He received a letter from Pope Benedict that he kept private for all these years. And in that letter, as released today, it has these words from the late Pope Benedict. And I quote, "As one sees the power of Antichrist spreading, one can only pray that the Lord will give us mighty shepherds to defend his church against the power of evil in this hour of need." Notably, this letter is dated 2015. That means he wrote this letter after he had resigned the papacy and while Pope Francis was currently on the throne of St. Peter, currently serving as the Roman pontiff. Some are already saying, is this an indication that Benedict thought that Pope Francis was the Antichrist?
From the moment that Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio became Pope in 2013, prophecy experts expressed their alarm, claiming that the new Pope is Peter the Roman, the fulfillment of an extraordinarily accurate ancient prophecy. According to the prophecy that's accurately predicted each and every pope in recent years, Francis will be the final pope and the end of the world because he is the Antichrist.
As soon as Pope Francis entered the church, everyone was shocked because of the prophecy of one very important saint, Saint Malachi. Now, before you dismiss this as just another prediction, what if I told you that there's a lot of new evidence that this ancient prophecy is playing out right now? Sounds eerie, right? So let's understand what the prophecy is all about, what has been predicted, and how accurate it is. Now, the current Pope of the Catholic Church, who goes by the name Pope Francis, raised quite a stir among prophecy enthusiasts. They are claiming that St. Malachi's vision pointed straight at this year, dubbing this new Pope as Peter the Roman, the final piece of the prophetic puzzle. Pope Francis, originally known as Jorge Maria Bergoglio from Argentina, has raised questions. Despite his chosen name, some believers argue that hidden within his birth name is a connection to Peter. And get this, they're also making a case that he's a true Roman because his family has Italian roots even though he's from Argentina. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. Let's travel back in time to figure out where this prophecy comes from. The prophecy of the popes is like a list of 112 mysterious sayings in Latin that tries to tell who the Catholic popes will be, starting with Celestine II. It showed up in 1595, introduced by a monk named Arnold Wyon. He claimed that it came from visions of Saint Malachi, who was an archbishop in the 12th century. The story goes like this. Malachi supposedly had a vision during a trip to Rome that revealed the names of every pope, 112 in total, from his time until the end of days. Think of it like a series of popes, and we're now reaching the last chapter. He wrote down these visions in mysterious verses, sealed them in Vatican's secret archives, and they remained hidden for centuries. Then along came Arnold Wyon, who uncovered this ancient manuscript just in time for a holy conclave in the 16th century. Of all the ancient prophecies in the Roman Catholic Church, Saint Malachi's prophecy stands out as one of the most discussed subjects that has captivated the minds of many historians. While some people question if his predictions are for real, others find them super interesting and surprisingly accurate. And here is where you might want to pay very close attention. According to him, the 112th Pope would be the last one. His words get intense, predicting a tough time for the Holy Roman Church. His prophecy for this year ominously states, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep through many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people." The end. So, are we nearing the climax of Saint Malachi's prophecy? Well, it sure appears so.
This is where it gets really shocking. Before he was Pope, Bergoglio was Archbishop of Buenos Aires from 1998 to 2013, and President of the Argentine Bishops' Conference from 2005 to 2011. And he did nothing, absolutely nothing, to fight sexual abuse. Why? Because he was in on it. The Jesuit child rapist was just too clever and well connected to get caught. This is why Archbishop Vigano is adamant that Francis is a false prophet. And Vigano is not the only one. There is a growing movement within the Church who are convinced that Francis is a demon stalking the hallways of the Vatican, who must be deposed before it's too late.
Now let's rewind a bit to October 19th, 2013, and you might want to listen closely here. A Catholic bishop named Bernard Fallet, who is more of a traditionalist, gave a warning. He said that Pope Francis was causing the Church to decline and might be signaling the start of something really bad, like the age of the Antichrist. That's a pretty serious warning, don't you think? One of the most devastating blows came in the form of an 11-page letter which hit the scene on August 25th, 2018. This letter was from Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò, who used to be the Pope Nuncio to the United States. In this letter, Archbishop Viganò accused Pope Francis of being neglectful in his responsibilities to the Church, specifically concerning a guy named Theodore McCarrick. The accusation was that, despite knowing about sexual abuse allegations against McCarrick, both the Vatican and Pope Francis didn't take proper action. Moreover, the letter didn't hold back. It even called for him to step down from his role as Pope. And here we are, fast forward to today. The drama around Pope Francis doesn't just stay in the Vatican City, it's spilled all over the internet and YouTube. People are buzzing with charges and accusations, and it's becoming increasingly evident. It's not just regular guys on the internet. Priests, bishops, cardinals, and lay scholars are becoming vocal critics of the Pope.
The world is now at a tipping point. A battle is raging for the soul of humanity. The globalists and their techno-communist dreams of authoritarian rule threaten to consume humanity and destroy civilization as we know it. We should keep a very close eye on this Jesuit Pope during these pivotal years. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to continue exposing the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.